watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here. It is 6 a.m. on our Monday. I'm Evan Irani.
And I'm Netta Irampour. So glad you're starting off your week with us. And hopefully it was a nice weekend for you. Weather-wise, I mean, couldn't complain.
Oh my God.
It was perfect.
I
the
feel
sun,
like
gorgeous.
both days, Saturday and Sunday, I got outside.
Yeah.
It was sunny.
Yeah.
It was very mild. There, you know, those last couple months where it felt like the second you walked out the door, it was like you're sweating.
Yeah.
It's humid. So it was just so pleasant.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Honestly, this past weekend, perfect conditions for me. Like, I wish I could just rinse and repeat the forecast every single weekend. And I jumped in the ocean, and the ocean felt amazing.
Oh, nice.
It wasn't too cold?
No, it wasn't too, I mean, I guess it depends who you ask, but it felt really good, at least in my opinion. 6:01 is the time. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a lovely weekend and enjoyed some time outside. We got spoiled with that vitamin D. As we get our Monday going, we are looking at a nice cloud deck. This is, in fact, over our mountain areas from our Mount Woodson sky cam that's just near the Poway area. Switching gears, pretty clear. You can see the lights of downtown San Diego from one of our Mount Soledad sky cams as we take a look at current conditions. We're currently sitting on the mild end. We're in the mid-60s. Winds are light out of the northwest of about 3 miles per hour or so. And dew point at about 59 degrees. Current temperatures where you live, we're seeing mostly mid to low 60s from Oceanside all the way to the South Bay. The closer you are inland for those neighborhoods hugging the 15 corridor, we're in the high 50s, 54 degrees right now in Palomar Mountain, 52 out in Julian. And for today's highs across our microclimates, we will be fairly warm for the inland and mountain areas, a little warmer than yesterday. Meanwhile, pretty comparable conditions for the coastline. Our rain chances go up. Looking ahead to the end of the week, we'll explain why, and we'll also talk about the warm up that some areas could encounter as well. That's all ahead. Back to you guys.
Possibility of rain. Thank you, Vanessa. Right now, a homicide investigation is underway in Linda Vista.
Officers were called out to the Linda Vista Recreation Center just after midnight. CBS 8's Regina Rita joins us live at the scene. She has everything that we know so far at this hour. Regina, it's still dark out there, but what have you gathered so far?
Yeah, well, Evan and Netta, since we got here, we've been noticing detectives and investigators still in the same spot that we noticed them earlier, here towards the Linda Vista Recreation Center. They've sort of took their time around this area. They had their lights out looking for something. They also were putting certain evidence into brown bags. So that is what they've continued to do all morning. But this is off of the Recreation Center, just very close to where it's off of Fulton Street and Levin Street. They've blocked off part of the entrance to the park here with yellow tape. Now, according to police, there were reports of a homicide that came in just before 1 in the morning. When officers arrived, they found a person shot. We know one person is dead. The investigation has continued since then. As I mentioned, police gathering evidence and looking for witnesses that can detail what might have happened. So we're still waiting to get confirmation about a possible suspect in custody or if they're looking for the person or people responsible. But if we can come back out here. Again, police have been here near the Linda Vista Recreation Center where there were reports of a homicide investigation. That is what continues to go on here in this area. As soon as we hear more details or more information, we'll be sure to share it with you. But for now, I'm Regina Urita, CBS 8. I'll send it back to you.
Thank you for staying on top of that. Also breaking today, overnight President Trump's backup plan to surge federal troops to Portland, Oregon has been blocked. A Trump-appointed judge argued the government appeared to be defying her previous order, which temporarily stopped the White House from sending Oregon's National Guard to the city. Instead, they sent California's Guard. Portland's mayor and the state's governor, both Democrats, maintain the city is safe. Meantime, in Chicago, federal agents clashed with protesters. President Trump has federalized 300 Illinois National Guard troops there. It's a tactic he used in D.C., where he claimed there is now no crime.
Took 12 days, think of that. Now we're in Memphis. We're doing the same thing in Memphis, and we're going to Chicago.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker said the White House has ordered Texas National Guard troops to Illinois as well, calling the move madness. And the federal government shutdown is now on its 6th day with no end in sight.
Today, U.S. Senate lawmakers are expected to vote again on a funding bill to reopen the government, though top GOP and Democratic leaders are still blaming each other over the stalemate. CBS News' Jared Hill with more.
Today, another effort to end the government shutdown. The U.S. Senate is set to return to D.C. for more votes on short-term spending bills.
The Democrats just need to open up the government. I'm hoping that some of them have a change of heart.
Over the weekend, the political blame game continued as Republicans push to fund the government as is. Meanwhile, Democrats are dug in on demanding that the bill add provisions to protect subsidies under the Affordable Care Act as well as Medicaid.
We will not support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of the American people.
We want to fix it so it works.
Yesterday, President Trump and Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson said they want to look at ways to address federal health care subsidies, but after the shutdown ends.
We're not saying that we won't negotiate it. We're saying turn the lights back on in Congress.
Democrats who see the shutdown as their only leverage are skeptical.
We've been trying for months and months to sit down with them and have a serious conversation addressing America's health care needs. And they've refused and refused and refused.
Meanwhile, President Trump is doubling down on his threat to fire federal workers.
Anybody laid off, that's because of the Democrats.
Though the layoffs are up to his discretion. This comes as a new CBS News poll shows that many Americans are concerned the shutdown could affect the economy, while most disapprove of how the president and congressional Republicans and Democrats are handling it. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Now, House lawmakers are not back in Washington this week after House Speaker Mike Johnson chose to extend the district work period. House Democrats plan to hold a virtual call that'll be later today. They're also calling on their Republican colleagues to, quote, get back to work.
An update this morning, DACA, the Obama-era program that protects undocumented immigrants brought here as children, could be one step closer to possibly accepting new applications. The legality of the program has been in uncertainty because of a Texas lawsuit. If a judge accepts a new plan from the Trump administration, applications could be reviewed once again. Under this new plan, applicants in Texas would not be eligible for work permits. Even though a ruling has not come down yet, eligible applicants can start preparing now. Immigration attorneys recommend gathering documents like school records, transcripts, diplomas, or a GED certificate. Another important piece, proof you've lived in the U.S. since childhood. Things like old lease agreements can also help.
The city of Chula Vista will be holding a community workshop later today. The city seeking feedback from residents on its first ever strategic plan to address homelessness. This meeting will be at the Norman Senior Center. It'll get underway at 6 p.m.
Tonight, the Del Mar Fairgrounds will begin a series of open houses. The goal is to get feedback from people on developing a new master site plan for the Del Mar Fairgrounds and Racetrack, the Del Mar Horse Park, and the Surf and Turf Recreation Center. The first open house is scheduled at the Arbor View Room at MacArthur Park. It starts at 6 p.m. Vanessa Paz is standing by after what was a very comfortable weekend.
Yeah, it was so nice. Oh, and the moon, the sunset, and then the moon coming was like incredible last night.
I feel like it lit us up so
well.
Unfortunately, I was asleep. Hopefully I catch it later on tonight. But yeah, we have to be thankful for our viewers who submit so many incredible photos of the weather and the conditions outside in terms of the harvest supermoon. It will peak later on this evening, just after 8:30, as we give you a quick look at the headlines. My graphics will pop up here. So yeah, peaking tonight just before 9 o'clock. It will be about 30% brighter. It has more of that oval shape versus the typical circle shape. It's the first of multiple to close out 2025, and you could, of course, expect higher tides. All right, taking a look at our satellite radar composite as we get your Monday going. We have a nice cloud deck hanging overhead. A lot of those clouds spilling well along the coast and inland communities this morning. So as the sun starts to light up the sky, it's likely going to be overcast, widespread, especially across our most populated neighborhoods. All right, this was a tropical storm and has officially transitioned into a hurricane category 1. Priscilla winds at about 85 miles per hour or so, movement at about 5 miles per hour, and it's at a low pressure about 975 millibars or so. It will continue to churn off of central Mexico into the Baja Peninsula, gaining strength, upgrading to a category 2 before it disintegrates down to a category 1 as it enters those cooler waters. So we're basically going to feel the outer bands of that system in the form of increasing cloud coverage towards the week's end and also warmer temperatures. We have two systems kind of working together towards the end of the week that are going to usher in that southwesterly flow, and we'll show those models a little later in the hour. But let's focus on what's on tap for your Monday as we take a look at today's highs for today where you live. We'll be in the 70s, some 60s out across our coastal and beach neighborhoods, mostly high 70s for the interior parts of the county. Daytime highs for areas like Valley Center as well as Escondido will trend a little warmer than yesterday. As we take a look at your coastal 7-day forecast, we will see a rise in those daytime highs, especially towards Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So yeah, I wouldn't quite put away the summer clothes just yet because we are looking at very warm temperatures along with that tropical, uncomfortable, sticky mugginess outside towards Thursday and Friday. Inland areas will be in the high 70s Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we're looking ahead to mid 80s, but then we have a drop off as we enter the weekend. All right, the time is 6:11 on your Monday. Let's go ahead and see what's happening outside. This is the 805 in both directions. Right side of your screen is that northbound drive as you make your way in from the South Bay. Typically overnight, that's when we see the most construction. Some of that could be lingering into the 6 o'clock hour, so just make sure that you're giving crews an extra lane or two if you do see any ongoing projects this morning across our major freeways. This is what it looks like. Unfortunately, it's a frozen shot, but you get the idea. Fairly quiet coming in from Santee on the 52, right where it intersects with the 125. As we take a look at your North County travel, we're anywhere between 65, 70 mile per hour speeds. That's both on the 5 and the 15 this morning. No major issues nor delays if you're traveling in from the East County headed westbound. We're looking at anywhere between 65, 70 mile per hour speeds. Same deal coming in from the South Bay out of National City and Chula Vista. Travel times looking fairly nice with the exception of Coronado. Getting onto Coronado Island is kind of a headache right now. That's typically a 3-minute drive. It sets you back about 7-8 minutes or so due to road work. Again, that is spilling into the 6 o'clock hour. 5 to 7 minutes, meanwhile, coming in from the East County, and here's what it looks like out of the North County, anywhere between about 10 to 30 minutes or so. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick look at your border wait times and see what's happening. About an hour to get you inbound from San Ysidro's port of entry. Meanwhile, not too shabby, and from Otay Mesa, about 45 minutes at last check.